All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Banana Fish, episode 17. All right.
Closer and closer we get to the end of the series, the more and more I'm worried about these characters dying. And the last episode, they spent just about all the luck they could possibly have.
And yet, in some ways, because of the levity of the whole thing, it reminded me that this show can be pretty dang funny, and we can have just some antics and shenanigans, and no one needs to die.
Exactly.
You know, maybe a Baron, you know, of the Corsican,
maybe a Baron,
foundation, but
maybe a couple going at it gets knocked out, you know, but it's nothing too crazy.
Fine. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So, Ash is going to reunite with AG. AG, last we left him off, is in a bit of a way, so we're going to need to see how that all connects back. But until then, this was a big step for the plotline with Max, though, in that he saw quite a bit.
Max saw a whole lot. And now Dino is also back in the swing of things. So, okay.
Yeah. What's Dino's first move?
Right.
Yeah. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Of course. Fake news! Oh my gosh. Looks directly at AG.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you might have just burned a bridge. And now you undid that, and we're back to where we were.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, this guy.
Whoa.
Okay.
Cool. Connected all the dots.
Now, you're a loose end at this point.
Yeah, I think he's leveraging this information.
Sure.
Yeah, there it is. Nice.
I'll control my family and you'll control the Foundation.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, this really is a mafia movie.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill literally everybody.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, he's just in shock. He's just like, oh.
I love you!
Yeah, very similar to Banana Fish.
Oh, okay. Spontaneous mutation, so wouldn't be duplicatable if, say, these plants were destroyed.
Oh, well, not exactly yet. They're all still alive right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also very true. Damn. Well, it's Turkish. Oh.
Ah. I did not know that.
Shit, no way.
That's a hitman here.
Someone just clocked?
Yeah.
Someone just clocked them? In his peripheral?
Shit.
Whoa. Yeah, we'd be leading them to you.
Good point.
Still being watched. Damn. Oh,
Wow.
he's getting rid of him for time.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, good catch.
Once he gets the books down, he's going to disappear. He's going to disappear. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, what's that about?
Oh, wow. Just like that? Talk about messy. Well, this.
Oh. Yep. That's
Okay.
one. Beautiful.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen him.
Speculated.
Okay, so he doesn't know exactly what planned, but
But he also knows that Dino is really into, like, his greenhouse, so...
yeah. Yeah.
You might get that chance.
Huh? Uh-huh.
Gotcha. Okay.
Stalk him on the way home, yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, no, they got you. They got you good.
What the hell?
Yeah, and after everything that's happened, they know not to actually try and fight Ash. Just
How did he get
clock
through?
him, watch him disappear.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Who is he? Blanca. Oh. This,
Okay.
This voice actor. Dang it. Shoot. It's Kira Yoshikage.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good catch.
Yep.
So you're saying this guy has a hands-on approach?
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, I guess he is 17, so...
That's very important info.
Yeah.
The fucking faces!
Yeah.
You can't, he's just like... But I still don't get it, like... Why?
Yep. Oh. And he just already found him.
Yeah.
Ugh. I love how the senator is the dumbest person. Oh shit.
This whole place is tapped? Oh my god.
What I taught him... Is this the guy that Dino, like, hired to teach Ash everything he knows?
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Because Dino wouldn't know all the stuff that he taught Ash. He would have had to have had somebody. And he's gone.
The Killers.
Oh,
Nice.
that's fun.
Nice. Making another band reference, but also... that works super well.
Okay.
Yeah, we have Blanca, the hired, not assassin, but potential ex-mentor of Ash from way back when.
Yep. Cool.
Someone who theoretically could be the only person that actually has everything up on Ash, not because he's, smarter or even more physically capable, but just that he
knows the tricks.
He's got like decades more experience than Ash does.
And this is something that I really appreciate that wasn't needed, but I appreciate nonetheless, because we've heard Dino pontificate many a time at how I made him. Dino's not some expert assassin, killer, or whatever, right? He's a mob boss. So how would Ash have learned all of these things? Is it just because he's a genius with a 200 IQ or whatever? Or is it actually because maybe he had some specific people that were well paid by Dino to teach him all of this
Dino
stuff?
probably is correct in that he was instrumental in timing specific things that he introduced into the environment of this boy's life.
Right, he funded Ash's development and all of that.
Right,
and, yeah.
but it's a direct parallel to Banana Fish in that he made Banana Fish, even though Banana Fish is actually derived from a plant, apparently.
Right, and he wasn't the scientist who made it.
And he wasn't the scientist that made it. Dino is the one that has been heading the project in the same way that he has been heading the Ash project, essentially, when Ash was a young boy.
And one of the things that I like that they brought up here is that it was a spontaneous mutation of a plant that Dino had.
Right.
So theoretically, even though they have, like, say, the chemical, like, blueprint and composition of it and stuff like that, that might not be enough. So if they did go public with it, they wouldn't have to worry about, oh no, now we're giving theoretically everyone the opportunity to recreate Banana Fish, because if, say, this greenhouse is destroyed with the plants inside it, you wouldn't reasonably be able to duplicate that mutation, and then there you go, right? You know.
Right, and then we don't know necessarily in terms of supply whether they do have any kind of issue in that regard. It could just be a thing of where they're still in the like final stages of experimentation, where they're like, okay, cool, so based on this, now do we have the capability of perfecting the effects of this mutation into something that is, easily shippable, weaponizable, and all that.
Right.
And given the stuff that they've gone through thus far, it does quite a bit if used in specific ways, but it's still not fully ready necessarily.
Right. It's not perfect, and there's still limited supplies of it.
But that's one thing. I don't think we have that as a thing, though.
Oh, that it's limited supplies?
Obviously, nothing is unlimited supply, but I'm bringing up the idea that we don't know what type of limited supply they have.
That's true.
If it is actually based on the flower, or if it is more the idea of, okay, cool, now we've gotten the way in which we can stimulate the mutation again, or do we not have the capacity to do that?
Lung has a limited supply because he has the stuff that he stole. And that's something that I think is really important, because then he has motivation to get Dino to help him with taking out the other members of the Lee clan, because it's faster and he doesn't necessarily have to use up the rest of it. Theoretically, he might have already used all he had, or he might have some left over and he's like, this is only enough for 3 people, I gotta save this.
Yeah, theoretically, the best thing that Lung can do is never use Banana Fish and just keep it held over as a threat of like, no. Like, I will hold on to this, and this is our mutual non-aggression pact.
Exactly.
I will not use Banana Fish as long as you don't come after me.
Right, I might not have as many nukes as you, but I do have some. Yeah,
it's exactly that, where this could all fall on Dino's head if Yutlung basically goes public with this on any level, because then it's a thing where it's mutually assured destruction.
Right. If it's public, then that
goes eventually back to Dino.
Right. And the powerful weapon you have is then kind of useless, because people will be able to figure out what it is when it's used and all of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So Yutlung has essentially made a deal with the devil here, and his time is limited now.
Yeah.
Because at the very least, we either assume Yutlung's competence bring him into a situation where he ends up on top of everyone but potentially
Dino.
Ash or AG.
Oh, gotcha.
No, meaning like eventually he takes Dino down.
Yeah, because if he's initiating the deal and he knows the kind of person that Dino is, and that Dino would, especially after he reveals the information of how much he knows, Dino has to take care of him at some point.
Yeah, later, but not...
Later, not now.
Not in any long amount of time. Like,
right, and especially once the news gets out that Senator Kippard was killed, if Yutlung hears about that, knows that Kippard was involved with Dino, puts 2 and 2 together that Dino orchestrated it, that's even more evidence that, like, yeah, this is a temporary agreement and one of us is going to need to eat the other.
Yeah, I think that, though, that's not going to set Yutlung off.
Yeah.
I think right now what's going to end up happening
because he probably already knows that.
Well, no, it's just the idea that Ash is a consistent threat. You don't have to lie here. You just have to say, oh, Ash was making a move on Kippard, so we killed him.
That's true.
It literally is that straightforward. And if anything, that's going to be something that actually makes sense. And from the other perspective, the Kippard's connection to the Corsican Foundation means that if Yutlung is saying, oh, I want to help you get rid of the other Corsican Foundation members, then of course Kippard was going to die eventually. So if anything, no, I feel like what's going to happen is they're both going to have the timer ticking as to once all their other allies are dead, then what do they do? And do they just kind of, okay, now we'll go our separate ways? You go this area, I'll go this area, and we'll just chill.
And really, what they might want to do is like, okay, when I've killed all but 1 or 2 of the people that they want dead, then I start to turn on them, right? That way you sort of preemptively get the jump or something.
Yeah, I think also Yutlung is playing a good game here by basically letting Dino bring his guys into this situation. Because on some level, Yutlung was completely at the mercy of them with their machine guns too. So obviously he's playing what I would say kind of the really wise card in here, and basically showing that he's like, I'm not a threat to you, Dino. I'm the one offering. Like, I'm the one approaching to you. I'm leaving myself vulnerable. And that's in some ways the perfect, like, feigned, weakness of the assassin that he is. Right. It's by saying, no, I will help you. Like, how can I serve you?
Right. It feels very similar to what Ash did with Kippard, actually. Of, like, being like, yes, I'm, totally vulnerable and can't do anything. And, oh, psych, I got you. Right.
God, Ash, I'm gonna do some prostituting.
Yep.
And
you know,
right.
And you know that he's saying that just to get a rise out of AG.
Just to mess with him. Because it is truly what he's doing. Yeah. But he isn't being like, oh, sorry. So babe, I'm gonna go kill
do a sting
Kippard,
operation. Yeah.
But before I do that, I have to seduce him. And then before I do that, I need to kind of make myself, look a specific way so that I can lure this dumbass.
Yeah,
exactly. And then he's gonna be like, Ash, you just overloaded me with too much information. So instead, he does the, don't worry about it. Here's a joke. Ha, ha, ha. And then AG's like, ha, ha, wait. But wait, what? And then,
it feels like the kind of thing where, like, as the married couple that they basically are, it's the, okay, honey, I'm going to go do this thing that, sounds crazy. Have fun storming the castle. Like,
right. I'm gonna go hit up Vegas. Be right back when I'm a millionaire. Wait.
Okay, don't
you have a gambling problem though? And it's like, no.
Or that they very much don't have a gambling problem, and so you're like, cool. Yeah, let me know how it goes.
Like, see, I feel like it's more the other way because that was what Ash's past was, in that he was sold and abused in that way.
Whoa.
And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back. Ha ha ha.
Right, it's the scare of like the, wait, hold on. But then also like, but also Ash is the, like, the person that AG would have to worry the least about, if not for the fact that he was so close to AG.
Right.
Or so close to Ash, because... that was hell for Ash, right? So it's if he's going to use that to his advantage, he definitely has a play going, and it's going to make sure that it works out.
Yeah, I think in some ways though it's the sad aspect of Ash, trying to find ways to connect with AG is that he can't tell him that he's going to go kill somebody effectively, even though he didn't necessarily want to kill Kippard. He wanted to plug him for information.
Yeah,
I think he would have absolutely killed Kippard when he was potentially done with him.
Oh yeah,
or basically be like, oh, okay, cool, you're not a problem. I can use you now. Wonderful.
Right. I also
don't need
have
to
the
kill
blackmail.
You. Right. I don't need to kill you. I have the blackmail. If you're gonna die, someone else will do it for me.
Right. Dino will probably try to kill you, and then maybe he turns them against each other or something.
Sure. Yeah. Which in some ways, that part where Kippard was looking at the TV with the two other people on there.
He was talking on the phone. Yeah.
Well, yeah. It was a screened bit there though. That seemed very much like we're gonna deal with Dino.
Right. Well, because it makes sense. Like, if you have people in positions like the Corsican Foundation, right? Even if Dino has a good alibi of, hey, they were being dumbasses, Ash got out, he got a gun, he killed a bunch of people, he was one of them, they're still going to look at who stands to gain from this, and that Dino would have been pissed at this guy, like, because he was the upper management that came along to basically slap Dino on the wrist, right? So he turns up dead, they might, piece together what happened.
Yeah.
But
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Here we are. We have Ash and AG connecting a little bit over Ash's past with his mother. That was really sweet. Getting to basically have Ash kind of dredge up a little bit of that pain by kind of relating to the fact that, the situation his mother was in, kind of coming into Cape Cod as an outsider. But hey, I mean, like, if you're gonna have this, kind of, budding, friendship / relationship with AG here, these kinds of moments where you can share in those kind of emotional stories and stuff like that is going to really help you to bond. So I felt like that was a really sweet moment that was unfortunately cut off by the fact that, Blanca knows his shit. And I love that they got Yoshikage's voice actor to do him, because he very much has that, like, I am unimaginably powerful in this setting here.
And sophisticated and intelligent and patient.
But also, yes, extremely creepy and patient in the background, yeah.
And his motivations are kind of interesting here, because when he showed up and talked to Dino, he was saying, I just showed up to say that I'm denying your request, I'm not taking the job, which I'm guessing was to deal with Ash. But then by the end of that, he's like, you know what, I accept, right?
Well, that's the thing. He said he never said he was declining the offer there. He said, why did you come all this way? He said, to decline your offer.
Right.
Then I saw Ash, and I realized, wow, time is such a funny thing, such an ironic thing, or what have you. For someone like him, growth, that's the thing that we can see
whereas
here.
For us, it's decline.
For us, decline. So he's like, no, I absolutely accept now.
Sure. And I guess maybe because the having a situation where you have a sniper, you take out Kippard, Ash is there, Ash is fearing for his life, turns out he just leaves, right? on the one hand, I love that. On the other hand, I have questions, right? Because you take out your target, you do your thing, you've revealed your presence, so then you just disappear again. Cool. Right. No one knows that you were there, all that stuff. Cool. If his mission is to take out Ash, he could have also just shot Ash.
Well, no, I think that's the thing, is that he has to choose which one is more important in the immediate sense.
Oh, sure, if he can only take out the one target.
So he kills Kippard because he's thinking like, oh, Ash, I want to see how much he's grown.
Right,
and I have no interest really in killing him now. I'm going to kill him eventually.
But I want him to also know that I'm the one after him and all of that stuff.
No, it's just he has enjoyment out of seeing how good Ash is.
Right. Yeah. So
and maybe he's like, oh, I'll give Ash 1 second after I kill Kippard, and if he doesn't pull this off like perfectly, like the way he immediately threw the light off there, he's like, damn. Now I can't shoot him now. He is good. Okay. And then he just goes back and...
Not bad kid.
Yeah, not bad kid. I think that is the exact energy he was going for there. Yeah. He's like, Kippard, I'm going to shoot you. And in 1.8 seconds after that, I will shoot Ash.
Right.
If Ash presents himself as an easy target, then he doesn't deserve to live.
Right. And it could also be something where, even though from a technical level, it doesn't necessarily make sense that this would happen, but it's previously established that all the times that he was following Ash would always get that, like, wait, someone's watching me. So, theoretically, even if he just trained the scope on Ash, Ash might get, like, a similar kind of sixth sense of, like,
Yeah. I think you're still missing the point here character-wise.
No, I think the character motivation for it totally makes sense.
Okay, but then he would never basically want to give Ash basically no chance here. That's the thing. All those times he was stalking him, he wasn't interested in killing him either. That was him building up the reason then that he's like, okay, I will take your job,
right,
Dino. But still, at that point when he's taking the job, he's still not saying, oh, I want to kill him as fast as possible. He's saying,
right,
I want to go and be on his tail, and I will be the one to ultimately take him out of this world.
Right.
But until then, I want to have my fun.
And we didn't actually hear what the job was, so theoretically it could be Dino still wanting to take Ash alive so that he can kill him himself.
That's very true. That's a very good point.
There's all kinds of motivations and potential reasons for this, and I want to say that I applaud the show in this way, because we've had situations where characters kind of conveniently don't do things that maybe could have made it more difficult for Ash to get out or something.
Sure.
But those characters aren't as built up on the competency level where it feels jarring, right? Whereas for this character, he's the epitome of competence, so then we need to have one or potentially multiple reasons that are believable, that aren't too hard to figure out, of why he wouldn't just snipe Ash from the get-go or something like that, right? He doesn't want to, that's not the job, all sorts of other things. Stuff, so that continues to build my personal excitement for this character to be in the series in the semi-long run, and the interactions and conflicts that he will go into with Ash. So,
yeah. But Dino is on the rampage. We've got Yutlung's brother dead. It's all just a matter of time now before this just becomes Bloodbath of the show at this point, because these are the characters that will just start cleaning house across the cast at this point.
Right.
And the people I'm most worried about then, in the immediate sense, is given that Dino has technically seen Max, he's aware that there is some kind of reporter / news outlet / something else out there that is, working basically to figure out what he's doing.
Yep.
So once he's dealt with all this stuff, I think he's going to come for them. And given that he doesn't know who they are yet, he's going to have to get thorough, which means I could very easily see him extending his power very overtly towards all these publications, news outlets, and people out there.
He killed the senator not with banana fish.
Right.
That's a big-ass deal.
That's a big deal.
And specifically the senator he was involved with. So there are a lot of things that could tie back to him, so he's probably going to start getting quick and dirty with this. And theoretically, with regards to Max, depending on what Blanc ended up figuring out as far as information and what he communicated to Dino when he was following Ash, Dino might already know where they are. So that could also be complicated.
That's the terrifying thing about Blanca there, was that when he was following Ash, you were like, well, then he shouldn't go here. And I was like, well, he probably just didn't feel the vibe at that point. But that's the thing. he's so good
Yeah.
that Ash doesn't feel it 100% of the time.
Right.
He probably didn't feel it going there, and then once he left, he's like, shit, I feel it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I messed up.
Right, I'm already at the place.
I already gave away potentially this whole thing. So
Yeah.
now it's going to come to a head of where will Blanca then use the fact that AG is one that he's very clearly attached to.
Sure.
And it could be an interesting thing.
You got sloppy kid, you know.
Or yeah, it could be just the thing of where he's like, oh, Ash, you found a friend.
This isn't like you.
Like, yeah, like, did you, like, crave that? Did you always miss that?
Because if he, like, the part of this dynamic that could be really fun is not just the fact that he knows the stuff that Ash knows because he taught him.
Sure.
But it's also that he could really care about Ash.
He could.
Even while he's potentially trying to kill him.
Right.
So
exactly.
if he finds out about AG, he might not want to use AG. Or
Right.
maybe he would because he's like, you should know better, dude.
Yeah.
I know it's tempting. I know it's tempting to go back to that life, but we're not from that world.
Yeah.
We can't be in that world.
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you.
Yeah,
You know?
he really could. That's the really scary thing, is that all that time AG was with him, that was time where Ash was in some ways almost panicky, like really getting that like protective thing over AG, where he's all like thinking, I'm gonna have you move away, go get me,
Right.
hot dogs or what have you with mustard and stuff, so that I can maybe, be more free to look around and see who it is. And then once that happened, he changed his mind. He's like, no, I'm going to go with you.
And I feel like he got a vibe that, like...
oh, shit, that could be bad for AG.
The figure is, wherever they are, is maybe going after AG now, and it's like, oh, wait, no.
I'm going to go with you. Yeah. I loved that little detail because AG has no idea.
Right. And technically, the audience has no idea because Ash is not, like, we're not hearing Ash's thoughts as he's like, wait, I have to send AG away, but wait.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to basically complement the observational skills of the audience to be like, we don't need to tell you. You'll be able to piece it together. We're doing a good job of implying it. And now just watch the show.
Right. Right. So good stuff. Great episode, and yeah, this is a new stage, new arc for the story where we're gonna go into a form of a gang war, but it's way bigger than that. So
I also want to point out that we did get a little bit more of talking and focusing on Ash's backstory in this episode, and Ash ain't a side character, but
yeah, I definitely feel that vibe, but I still feel like we're safe for now. We're safe for now. Yeah, I feel like when they were really laying it on thick with Ash, it made this like with like death flags and stuff. It made this kind of stuff look like nothing.
Yes,
in comparison.
Right, because in that Ash was actually thinking, I think I might die because Arthur might kill me.
We traded Arthur up for Blanca.
Yeah,
like
it's no contest.
It's no contest.
Like, we gotta steal.
Yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.